Shoulders.
So I had to travel for work yesterday and today, and I had to go from the west side of the state here to the east side. So it's about 3 hours. The bugs on my car, by the time I got back home this afternoon, I swear it looked like I drove through prehistoric times or something. I don't know. This state has crazy wildlife. So I was like, did I hit like a pelican or a bird or something? It was coated in stuff.
Really? So,
So
are you gonna get one of those bras for the front of your car?
no, they
For
don't
that?
really make those anymore, and they look a little
La bra.
1992.
Oh,
Raw.
It's like,
I mean, Gary, what kind of bugs did were there like whole bugs and like
oh, dude, there was
enlighten
like
us?
all kinds of colored splatter and stuff like all over the thing. So the first thing I did is like he pulled into the driveway, he went inside, changed, came out, and washed the car.
Oh man,
I was like,
there's a lot of rainbows in Florida. You just drive through rainbows.
dude, I drove through some sketchy little
Did you
town.
drive through rainbows?
Yeah, there's some sketchy places here, and I saw when you take a drive and you see signs that tell you about bird crossings, alligators, and bears. Sometimes you just wonder like, where am I? Where am I going? I kid you not, I saw signs for all three of those in the last 2 days.
So,
I think Brian got into some of Dave's stash.
so Gary, you wash the car immediately. If you don't have the opportunity, what do you use? WD-40 or whatever to get the bugs off?
No, just soapy water in a spray bottle. At least get it off so it doesn't gouge your paint.
That must be nasty.
It's also good for the environment.
Dawn dish soap is really good. That's what you rescue like the animals when there's an oil spill.
That's what the commercial says.
Exactly.
It gets my pots and pans clean. I'll tell you that.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 107 of Breaking the Mold. This is your Realm of Collectors Tuesday Night Delight. I'm Harrick and BX. Let's say what's up to the rest of the crew. Dominic, how are you?
How you guys doing?
How are you? How was your weekend?
It was good.
How you been, buddy?
It was good. Quiet, nice, relaxing weekend. Did some toy hunting, and
Did you score?
Yeah. I was able to get the elusive Red Hulk from Target. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I got a shout out to the Target employee who actually went into the back and started looking through repack boxes to find it for me. So.
Oh, good shit. Oh, so you made them work. You actually win.
Yeah.
Like, do you have this? Can you look for it?
Yeah. I'm like, because it showed one on hand, and I guess the rumor is that every store got one or two, and they weren't packed in individual, manufactured boxes. They were actually put in repack boxes. So I don't know whether the factory.
What does that mean?
A repack box is like something that they would, you're familiar with how Walgreens gets their products. Like
No, I'm not.
Okay, well, I'll educate you. I'll educate you, Brian.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a reusable bin, which basically Walgreens doesn't get the manufacturer boxes sent to the individual stores. So what happens is it comes into a warehouse. They open up those manufacturer boxes and they put them into these bins or repack boxes.
You see them like totes, Brian, that have like a double flap on top.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I worked at
Like,
Circuit City, we had to do the totes.
Yeah, same idea. Yep.
So that they basically put a few of the characters or figures in one of those boxes, and then they ship them out into each individual stores. So they do the same thing kind of to Target, but mostly it's like figure toys or they have in the factory that they got to get rid of. Or so I'm assuming what happened is that they just basically didn't have enough to ship individuals cases of this Red Hulk to each individual store, so they separated them in their repack boxes and sent them out one to each store. So that was the rumor, and I guess the rumor was true because every Target that was around me this past weekend had one that I saw, but it was kind of hard to get it because everybody was looking. There was no location on where it was, and when I heard the rumor that it was in a repack box, I requested the employee to check a repack box for toys, and he did, and he found it.
Oh,
dude, I
nice.
never ask people to look for toys for me.
Well, you
I
should
just walk in, get disappointed, and leave.
I mean, if it says it's in stock, so Dom, you still use BrickSeek for that? Like it still works?
BrickSeek has been really unreliable in regards to. It used to be really good, but not anymore. For some reason, I guess Target and Walmart caught on to people using that because then, they tend to show the employees what's on BrickSeek to when they claim that they don't have any in stock. But
that's what I heard too, and that they're supposedly blocking like the searches like on it now. So I thought if you still use
unreliable, but the best thing to do is to call the store, give them the DPCI number, and they'll look it up on their device, and they can tell you whether they have it, and then they can also call. You can ask them to look at all the stores, and they can give you all the stores nearby that have the item as well.
Yeah, see, so that's actually a little bit different. So if you're calling ahead and they check and they say they got it, then you have every right to go there and be like, "Oh, did you guys call? I called. You said it's in stock. Can you get it out the back?" Like, that's a different story.
And if you're really lucky, you can get a guy from. Usually, I connect to electronics because the electronics is right by toys. And what you can do is just give them the DPCI. Electronics usually covers toys, so if they're looking at the device actually can tell you whether it's on the floor or in the back. And if it states it's in the back, the employee can actually go in the back, grab it for you, keep it on hold for you, and you go to the store.
So when you're asking people to look for toys, do you ask the lady workers there to look for toys, or do you wait for whoever
Dom
doesn't care. Dom doesn't
he has no shame, bro. He just wants what he wants.
What's shame at that? That's what they're there
the fucking
for.
woman. The woman must be like, this fucking nerd asking me his toy.
That's not, dude.
What if it's a young co-ed? Be like, hey,
these days,
for Hulk, a red one, a big one, probably in a repack box.
These days they have employees like there's employees in Target that actually shop for you and grab all the shit out from your car and put it in bags and then leave it up in the front for customer service for you to pick it up. So like there's things that it's what they do. Like, that's they're trained to do that. So it's not like it's out of the ordinary for them to do it.
It's a service. It's a service industry.
It's fancy. RJ is where that happens.
Well, yeah, Walmart. Yeah, fuck Walmart. Walmart employees will never go in the back. They always claim everything's out on the floor, but they'll never go in the back for you. And it's they tend to use UPCs, and it's hard. They don't even have when you walk around Walmart, they don't have each employee doesn't have devices. They can't hook up to their inventory systems. They can't look in them and stuff like that. So.
And it's interesting that you brought up the repack thing too, because I saw that elsewhere today, and I didn't even know that was really a thing. I heard about it from Best Buy.
Yeah, I don't get angry and tell them and yell at them and tell them to go get my fucking toy. No.
Dom turns all red like the Red Hulk.
Yeah.
It looks just like me. Give me my toy.
They're actually bring the new Targets are actually bringing the new scanners that they have. They got rid of it where when you scan an item, they actually tell you whether there's stock in the back room. So now they're bringing out these new scanners that actually brought that feature back, and it can tell you. So if you don't see, for Marvel Legends, for example, if you don't see your kind of character that you're looking for on the shelf, you can bring one of those other characters, scan it on one of those devices, and it'll let you know whether the item is in the back or items are in the back. And if they are, your chances are that the figure that you're looking for might be in the back.
Funny thing is if the retailers would just stock the product out on the shelves, none of this technology would even be remotely necessary.
Right.
Yeah. It comes to that because these days, what do you got? 2 pegs to hold 12. You can't hold enough. Whatever stock they have, they can't put enough all on the floor. So
no.
Dom, have they ever let you in the back in the stock room?
No, never. No, they don't. I actually worked in the back room in Target when I was when I came in. I graduated right after 9/11, and I couldn't find a job right out of college. So I actually went to go work for Target while I was doing some job shopping and everything like that. And just putting out my resumes out to job shoppers and stuff like that.
Job hunting.
Whatever you call it.
So he toy hunts, but he job shops.
But shopping for jobs, whatever.
Yo, that's a new website, bro. Jobshop.com.
Yo, let's do that.
Yeah, hook it up.
Buy that domain. Let's go right now.
Careerlink.com, jobshop.com. Come on, work it out. fucking. But
Somebody
like, you know,
need to get rid of
usually
that.
I love the work in the back room because it was always fun.
Mhm.
I was always you know, pushing boxes. Me and actually, the funny thing is, my brother was a manager at the time at Target, and I ended up working right out of college. And he was like laughing at me because he's like, you know, you went to 4 years of college and you ended up at the Target where exactly I am, and I didn't even go to college. It was a running joke, but it was fun. But we used to like unload the trucks, and it was just so much fun because if you ever watch videos of people throwing packages and how, you know, packages come out of trucks and stuff like that, no, there's no fucking lie to it, because at the end of the day, when you're unloading a truck and it has like 5,000 parcels, you really want to fucking just start throwing shit at the end.
Dom, I used to do the same thing for when I worked at FAO Schwartz. I was in the receiving team, so I used to have to get in the morning, and it was the same thing. We were just tossing whatever it was, tossing it across to the other people across the room.
We had a conveyor belt, but at the end of the day, like, the conveyor belt would go so far. So as you get deeper and deeper into the truck, it's like you can't, you know, you don't want to walk them back and forth for like 20 feet just to get to the conveyor. So,
did you guys have we called it the picker, but it was basically like a forklift type thing that would go down the aisles and it would go up and down, and you had to maneuver that thing around, almost parallel park it through the aisles, and you had to be licensed to drive it. And then I learned how to drive it on a slow day. And
we had like
I did
a forklift, like, you know, in the back room where we put pallets like up on top of the shelves and stuff like that. But I was trained to do that. But at the end of that, it was more of a handheld too. It was not even like you wrote it or anything like that.
Did I ever tell you guys of the story of we had a cardboard shredding machine, but a big one, like an industrial one. And it used to get stuck a lot because some of the stuff we used to put in there wasn't, you know, just cardboard.
Bodies.
Dude, this kid, they hired a bunch of people for like the Christmas season. So this kid, he was a great kid too, because I remember hanging out with him. I don't remember his name. I think.
Oh, he said was. No,
he's still alive, but I'm not familiar with him anymore. But at the time, dude, you know, was kicking, because you would have to kick the stuff or move it. You used to use a big stick to do it. But he did it with his foot, and the machine cranked back on, fucking chopped his whole foot up.
What?
When it came out, it was a Timberland boot with meat coming out of it.
Oh,
God.
Kid you not, man. Kid you not.
Yikes.
It was horrible. I mean, like, if you ever think exactly. Fucking just gross.
Yeah, that's nasty. That's nasty.
But let me tell you, if he didn't have Tim's on, if he would have had like a straight sneaker,
oh, that would have been worse. He would have
probably lost his leg. It just chopped up enough that they were able to pull him out.
Oh, Jesus, man. That's terrible. That's terrible. Well, Dom was successful at toy hunting. Actually, toy hunted real quick too. I found a grapple at a Target.
You found a grapple,
and it was a Saturday, so I think it was like the last day of some sale. So it was only $20. So,
nice,
which was awesome.
I went last week. I went to GameStop because I have a $5 reward coupon to use, and I was gonna hunt down Sify, I think is their name, from the Castlevania series.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say that the pictures of this figure online are way better than what's coming in those packages.
Yeah, they don't look good, right?
The face paint is all screwy. I was like, fuck. At first, I was so happy I found it, and I was like, oh, this will never be what I want.
Well, and I heard one of the guys, I think on Blackout and Shout, was it broke like right out of the package too. Right. One of their diamonds.
God.
But there must be something good. It's good for us buying toys. So I don't know if my insurance company for work, through they use like this health app called Engage, where you can like manage like all of your claims and all your medical stuff, and you can also track all your fitness and do like a commitment to health through it. Long story short, you accumulate points just from going to the dentist and doing your checkups, and if you actually log your exercise, you get these points, and then you have to cash them out basically at the end of the year. And as I'm training all these new associates, I'm like, I haven't even checked mine since last year, and I'm going to lose them at the end of February. So I ended up getting like $250 in gift cards because you cash them out So I had, one for Target, and I got Christina one for Starbucks to put on the phone app, and then I had one for Amazon. So I went and got I bought some Lego sets at Target over the weekend with because I'm like, oh, it's found money. So I'm like, oh, here's a Speed Champions Lamborghini. I'm gonna get that. And then but I ended up getting the what's that Ghost Rider you found the cosmic guy, just
the cosmic Ghost Rider.
Yeah. So I put the Amazon, it's like, I don't know, it's kind of like burning a hole in my pocket because I put in the codes. I'm like, oh, I have credit now. Let me see what I can find. So I don't know, it's pretty fun.
Actually, I actually saw that die-cast Millennium Falcon, that not the Millennium Falcon, I'm sorry, the time machine from Back to the Future, and I thought about you, Gary.
Oh,
the one that lights up. It's from Back to the Future too.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, how big is it?
It's big. It's I would say it's like I would say probably 6-7 inches long.
Oh, 3 3/4.
Yeah, it's probably It's the bigger series. It's not like the smaller ones that you would typically see from like the Optimus Prime truck and all that other stuff. But it was pretty good. I think Jetta. I think it's come from Jetta Toys or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, Jetta Toys. They do a lot of movie cars in that smaller scale.
It was pretty cool. It lit up and everything. I said, you know what? If it was the first one, I'll do it. But it actually had like the trash compactor little thing at the back. And
Mr. Fusion.
Yeah.
Now, did they have the white wall? No, the white wall tires were the third movie. Never mind.
Yeah.
All right, so we all got some toy hunting done this weekend. What about you, Dave? You doing any of that this weekend?
Nah. Not in physical form. It's usually just strolling through the groups and eBay and stuff like that.
Yeah. No instant gratification.
No, unfortunately, no. Doesn't exist for me. Only when we go to toy shows.
Yeah.
And actually, talking about instant gratification, that Red Hulk, when I had that whole I got it, and I was all very happy, and I was like, yeah, that was short lived. Let's go to the next one.
Yeah, when you find the piece when you find what you're actually looking for. Well, yeah, Dave's not really shopping retail, so that I get,
It was funny because I was I was talking to my wife when we got back in the car. I was like, that excitement that I got, it was like it's rare, it's few in the between these days. So it's like when it happens, you feel a little. It's actually pours on a little bit more than usual. So it's funny.
Well,
I wish you can lock it up in a bottle and just keep it and then open it up when you need, every time you want to use it.
Yeah.
But it's fun,
nice, right?
It would be nice. It would be nice.
Would be nice.
Now you can call me nerd. You can call me all you faggot. Whatever,
No.
You little loser. What are you doing? Getting excited about toys, but whatever.
You didn't need to say any of that for us to think that already. Down.
Exactly.
I know.
Toys are supposed to make you happy.
It was happy. It was a happy moment.
Toys are supposed to make you happy. So Brink, what's up, dude? How are you? How was your weekend?
Well, weekend was good. I'll get into that maybe a little bit later for a topic if you want. But it was very productive, I will say. And
does it involve the crawl space? It involved the
crawl space, indeed.
Oh wow!
And I have to say, I was down there,
and you came out with no injuries.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that because I was down there, bringing stuff in, bringing stuff out, and I realized I wasn't wearing a hat, and I was like, the hat saved me last time. I was like, let me be very, very careful and exit, put a hat on.
Did you bring your cell phone with you this time?
Yes, I had my cell phone with me.
All right, good.
I didn't drop it.
Learned.
I didn't crack it.
You learned.
But
Brian, I work for a utility company. Maybe I can give you a hard hat or a hard hat for you. So.
Well, I did find my Luke helmet that I never opened. Because I was heartbroken to see it go on sale exactly after I got it. But I could wear that, to protect my head.
Yes, you could. Yes, you could.
Yeah.
Do you still have your old tires down there? This is a big question.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Just making sure.
265 70s, radius 15. If you guys need them, hit me up. It's probably got a very light wear on the tread. I think 2 of them got rims in them, believe it or not. So I only got 2 rims. It's funny. I left the other 2 at my dad's house, and I remember I went up there right before he left that house. He moved out. I was like, hey, there's those 2 rims. He's like, oh, you needed those? was like, well, what am I gonna do with 2? I can't sell the set now. Stupid. Maybe I could turn them into
So you never got back the 2 other rims?
No. Never
Oh wow.
So yeah. If anybody needs some 1996 Pathfinder rims for a SEV6, let me know. I only have 2.
You can put them both on like the driver's side at least, and kind of fake it at least on one side.
Well, yeah, but they won't fit on my Rogue though. But yeah. So yep. Oh, that, and for the first time since I can remember, I had a bag of Fritos. Have you guys? When's the last time you guys had Fritos?
I couldn't tell you that.
Oh no, last month. Probably
Really?
yeah.
You guys get them a lot?
I mean, they come in that value pack with the Doritos and all that other stuff sometimes.
Oh, with the blue cardboard?
Yeah.
All right,
That
let me ask
or
you.
the
Which
big
one's
blue bag,
which one?
yeah.
Now, Dave, are the Fritos the last to go?
No, not really. No. Why you think?
But the Doritos are the
Usually,
first to
like
go.
the regular potato chips are the last ones to go. Like
Yeah.
when we buy one of those.
Okay.
Like if you get the Cool Ranch and the Dorito, regular Doritos, they're the first ones. Then
Yeah,
the
Cool Ranch goes first.
Cheetos goes quick.
I just remember as a kid, you knew. It's like like when the parents first get that, you're like, all right, good snacks for lunch, and then it gets down to it's like, oh, I got fucking Fritos. Damn it. I'm not gonna be able to drink this for nothing. But I have to say, I mean, I typically eat not normal, but I would say better quality tortilla chips now if I get tortilla chips. But Fritos is pretty good. I have to say though, my burps smelled like something was burning. It was
Yeah.
Oh, God.
weird smell in the house.
That's your lining to your stomach. That was burning.
Getting an ulcer. I think that's called an ulcer.
That stress.
All right. Energon Addict, how are you tonight, Pop?
I'm all right. You asked me already.
Did I?
it's all right. Dom cut me off. That's why maybe you don't.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was talking, and then he wanted to talk about himself again. Well, you asked me if I did any toy shopping. I said no. My weekend was okay. It was mostly being around the house. I was with Chloe for most of the part on Saturday. Because Lauren gets her hair done like she's like me. Like she follows her hairstylist. So like her hairstylist moved further out east in Long Island. So it's like an hour away. So she had to go out there. And then...
So Dave's like, yes, more me time.
No? I mean, yes and no. I mean, Chloe's a handful, man. Let me tell you, like, she does not let up. Like, the only time she does is when she's like watching her iPad thing. But like, you can't really, gauge that. You can't be like, here, watch this. And you can be like, oh, good, I have some time to myself. Because within like 10 minutes, her ADD will kick in, and she'll just be like, Daddy, I want to jump on you. I'm like, come on, let's play this. I'm like, oh God. I kid you not, by like 1:00, I asked her if she wanted to take a nap, and she was like, with you? And I said, yeah, with me. I'll go take a nap too, because like
got some calmness.
Lauren got home. It was like 3:30 in the afternoon. She opened the door, and we were both in the bed, knocked out. I just told her, like, Vamoose. We probably slept for another half hour or so, and then Chloe got up, but she's tiring, man. Tiring.
Handful.
Yeah. And then Sunday, we had to take her to a birthday party. So Sunday I had to get up, go food shopping, come home, and then we had to take her to the birthday party. And that's more just basically chasing her around because she's too small. She's kind of like timid, so she doesn't really want to do half the things the kids are doing, like gymnastics type, whatever playground shit they have there. It's like an indoor place where they have like trampolines and all this crazy shit for kids to jump around on. And she's just a little small, so she doesn't like to try anything new. She like stands around and watches.
Were there a lot of other kids there that were like her age? Like
it was her classmates.
Oh, okay.
So like it was a 4-year-old birthday party. She's a little behind. She has a late birthday. Her birthday's in November. So she's a lot small. She's already smaller than them, but being a little behind also, like you could just see like like her getting kind of like trampled not necessarily trample, but you know, like, hey kid, if you're not gonna do it, get out of my fucking way.
Yeah.
You know? But that was cool too. After that, we went to dinner, and that was it. Pretty calm weekend. Can't complain. Yeah.
Nice. What about you, G?
It's same thing. You know, Christina she traveled all last week for work. She was in Orlando. She left last Sunday and then got home on Friday. So we just hung out, you know, Saturday, and then I had to leave, you know, yesterday morning for work overnight. It's kind of one of those things where it's like she was kind of, you know, tired from being gone and, you know, not sleeping well in your own house. You know, I don't know if you guys travel much for work ever, but it's not that great. And then just getting stuff set up for this week, so it's pretty calm. It's pretty calm. I wish it was more exciting, but it was, and also it was cool temperatures here. It's like in like the 60s for a couple of days, so I was enjoying it. Where, you know, again, the the people who've been here are like freezing. You know, they're bundled up like with like coats and hoodies and stuff like that. And like, you got to be kidding me! I'm like, it's like 64 degrees. It's still
yeah, no, it feels good. That's we've been getting similar like type of weather here, pretty decent weather.
Last weekend was, I think, probably our last cold blast, probably.
Yeah.
But Jose, I saw you're in a new challenge, health wise, I think, right? For competitions,
yeah,
right?
Dude. Yeah, look, I even bought a Fitbit. So crazy. Yeah, so my job's doing, I guess, healthy wage is like this big, I guess, you know, independent like entity, but they do competitions nationwide. So my job, I guess, is participating, and there's like a $10,000 like team challenge that's going to start on Friday, and it's over, I think, at the end of May.
Okay.
So basically, like starting on Friday, I gotta give them a weigh-in. It's a team of 5 people, so I created a team. Jesse's doing it with me. So we'll send in our videos on Friday and then like basically like get to work. So my only apprehension is that since it is a team competition, like I can't force anybody else to keep up their part. I could be encouraging or whatever, but they really have to do what they got to do if they want to win that share of that prize money. So top prize is 10,000. Second place is 5,000 and third place is 2,000.
So Jose, it's Friday. It
starts on Friday, yeah. So
why are you not eating something right now?
Oh, I've been eating
weight,
and
bro.
munching
Try to
and
put on 10 pounds before Friday.
I've definitely put on some weight, man. I've been eating like you know, like whatever, just because I know I'm like, all right, starting Friday, all this is going away. So I'm pretty sure I probably would have packed on at least a pound or 2 by that competition. But I weighed myself last weekend and I was like way up, like even like from January when I had started to lose weight. And then I had like fell off. I just got lazy. But man, with that type of prize money, it's a pretty decent motivator. So I'm gonna like definitely kill it. And I'm turning 40 in 5 weeks, basically. So I want to turn 40 like in the best shape possible. So I'm actually gonna shoot to lose 20, like at least 20 pounds in this first month, these first 5 weeks. So with the intermittent fasting, I could do it. I'm gonna probably try to keep myself at an intake of 1,500 to maybe 2,000 calories a day, and shoot to burn at least twice as much, you know, just to keep the pounds coming off. And with the intermittent, I think that combined with the intermittent fasting, it's worked for me before. Like I know what I got to do. I just got to like do it. So by the time that
strength to do it
at the end of the competition, I'm probably going to try to be at like 185. So, and I'm about 230 right now. So
really?
Yeah. So we'll see.
You don't look 230.
Yeah, it's all in the belly pop. It's all right here. It's all right here.
Listen, that's where it goes when you hit 40. Let me tell you, it's the first place to go and the last place to leave.
Been going there since I'm fucking 12. I don't know what you're talking
about. Gary, do we have anything on the horizon?
In terms of ROC,
I found my scale this weekend in the bag.
No, I wanted to put something together. Probably, like I said, I've got to get through the next, probably 6 by the end of April. If we can, I was going to try and map something out and gauge interest. It's always tough going into the summer.
Mm-hmm.
That's good for me.
This is the time to do it. Trying to get that.
It's but yeah, I got to get through. I got my grand opening here, and just actually, it's under the 3-week mark, and then, the first 30 days is always going to be pretty chaotic and full of full of a lot of stuff, so I got to get through that first. But yeah, maybe like May-ish, we might be able to try and do something again.
Great. That's
perfect timing when we all get together in May and eating like
have a New Jersey Turnpikes. I'll take the salad.
Tom, you remember that last
I remember that
fest we were at, and you were like, I can't eat anything.
I was so pissed, dude.
He was just eating meat. He couldn't even eat cookies and ice cream or nothing. But
I remember me and Chris too. It was like, you will have a salad. Fucking.
You lost a lot. Chris lost a lot. That is its sticky pick that Brian showed last night. It was like a reminder, like, oh shit, yeah, he did. Yep. Did lose that much, man. I mean, I've steadily, I was maintaining 200 pounds, I think, after one of Gary's last rock challenges for a good long time. But then I eventually was just like, whatever. I'm drinking soda, I'm eating fucking food, and you know,
back at it,
that's it. You pack it on.
Yeah, the stats are. I'll have to pull it for the next Tuesday. It's on my work laptop. I think I still have all the data for how much total pounds everybody lost. So
I think I maintained since the last challenge ended. I think in the winter I started putting stuff on, but then I kind of, hey, I'm athletic slim in my jeans now. Obviously. Dave, I don't know if you caught it last night, but basically I bought new jeans and they didn't have the style that I usually get. And I was talking to the people that work there, like, oh, they've changed it. These are the new, this is the new line that replaced the line you were getting. And I was like, I buy Relax Fit, and these say Athletic Slim, and they fit the same as the other ones did. Mm-hmm. And then Chris told me that athletic is the new PC term for husky. So,
really? Yeah. Shit! All you guys out there with your dating profiles out there, change that shit. Athletic now.
That's fucking funny. That's good stuff. All right. So I mean, I hope to do well in that competition. I'm gonna kill it. And the cool thing about the healthy wage thing is you can make individual bets as well. So like there's one, if I could bet like $20 a month, $50 a month, as much as I want. And I could say I want to lose like 30 pounds, like in this time frame, and if you do it, you'll get your money back and then some. It all goes into a pot, and you win like a percentage of the pot, like at the end of it. So it's all verified. You got to send in their a video, they'll verify it, and there's certain criteria you got to meet when sending that stuff in, and it's like that. And you could join, I think, up to 10 challenges at once. So if you put in money, and you're gonna commit, you could come out ahead. So I'm gonna do a couple of them and bet on myself and get it done. So when I see you guys in a few months, definitely, like what we've got, NJCC coming up in early April. That's the week before my birthday, basically. So that's 4 weeks from now. I'm gonna try to be at least 15 pounds lighter by the time I see you guys, for sure.
NJCC, and then I think ToyCon is like the last day of May.
Yeah. So there we go. You got to find Richard Simmons or something, man. So
see that.
It's funny you say that, because I have some friends that were at in New Orleans recently. They did like this big Richard Simmons parade. Like it was all a bunch of people that looked like him.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. I only saw a few pictures, but it looked ridiculous.
Were they wearing like the tights, like the leotards and stuff?
Yeah. Nice. And everything, yeah.
Nice. Wasn't his videos like sweat to the 90s or sweat to the 80s?
Maybe
60s, wasn't it?
Richard Simmons had like your Fitbit, the non Technic style back in the day. He had that deal meal program with the little envelope and the cards, and that's how you tracked your food from like right to left. It was pretty spot on, actually.
Wow.
How do you know about that, Gary?
Google. I remember from the infomercials. It was like, it literally was like, it was just like envelope, and you would take it with you, and all your food groups were like on these like almost like playing cards, and you would set up your day on the right side of the little envelope, and then as you ate, you would take these cards from the right and you would move them from right to left. And the whole shtick was in the advertisements, when the cards are gone, you're done eating for the day. And that's how you would, it was basically your way of counting calories and tracking stuff without the technology that we have to do it for you.
See, like us Puerto Ricans have a ghetto way of losing weight, right? So whenever a girl wanted to lose weight, we would just lock that bitch in the basement and not feed her, and just give her fucking water and whatever fucking rations we could through the whatever could fit through the slip of the bottom of the door crack that's what they ate.
Can't do that.
Guaranteed to lose weight in a week.
Wait. I'm going to go back to infomercials with Gary. So, Gary, you're telling me back in the day you actually stayed up past 10 o'clock? Those infomercials didn't come on until like 1 o'clock in the morning.
I got to find it.
Oh, no, he was getting up for the gym in the morning. They were still on.
That's got to be on
YouTube. Dude, there's a set on eBay right now for $69.95.
Wow.
Hold on.
That's got to be a collector's item.
Yeah.
I bet you it's on Dom's eBay.
Yes,
Richard Simmons deal meal. The safe and easy way to lose weight and eat healthy.
I sell three a week. It's amazing.
Just saying.
I'm not only the sponsor, I'm a customer too.
I show a picture when I was in high school.
It's on Amazon too. Oh, and that comes. The one on Amazon comes with a VHS video cassette, also.
Who the fuck has a VC?
I don't know, but
if I had a VC. Oh, I'm sorry, Brian.
I was just say sweating to the oldies, I think is what it is.
Yeah, sweat to the oldies.
Yeah, that's it.
There it goes. Does Walmart still take VHSs and convert them to the DVDs for you? I know they used to do shit like that.
Oh, I remember. Yeah. If you wanted to convert your tape collection and stuff, or they sold the machines where you could do it yourself, right? They were pretty expensive.
Much. I guess you can do it now. Yeah.
So, all right. And shout out to JD. He's not here with us tonight. He's under the weather, and he didn't, want to cough on all of us. So,
feel better, JD.
Feel better, man. Feel better. So, what do we got tonight, boys? I know Brian had something to talk about. I think Gary had something to talk about.
I like Brian's idea about the getting into spring.
That might kind of work out.
Is that what we're talking about? That's what we're talking about today. Okay.
I like Brian's idea just a little bit. With it being close to springtime, pretty much everywhere. People hear that the adage about spring cleaning and how does that affect your collection maybe, or your displays, or kind of how you curate your items you've got, right?
So now that's interesting, because is that actually a thing for any of you guys here on the panel? Do you take this season as a time to maybe reshuffle your collection or actually clean your shelves and whatnot? Like Brian, you got the open shelves there, like right behind you, so I'm sure you got to do a lot of dusting.
Yeah, I'm sure I should. It doesn't get bad.
Why it's so dark in there?
That's why he's got low light. What dust? I didn't see no dust.
It doesn't get bad in here because I have.
Why is Devastator gray?
I have the vent to the HVAC is closed in here, and I keep the door shut. So.
I got you. So Brian got 0 inches of snow this winter, but he got about 3 inches of dust in the room.
No, I just.
I had a joke for that, but I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one, but yeah.
Dust, if you're listening, I love you.
Yeah. Just let it go. Just let it go.
So bad.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, I saw what you did there.
Oh, but Jose, yes, I did some spring cleaning this weekend. I basically getting prepped for things that happen this time of year, like when my aunts come. My aunts always come this time of year. They're gonna have probably 3 days straight of 60-degree warmer weather, and that's when the ants come. They come a marching.
Where are these ants located?
I think your mom's sisters were coming over or something like that.
No.
I'm like, what? Your aunts, like, how are they impressed by your collection or anything like that?
I have ants come and visit me every year. Yeah, this one spot by my kitchen window, and it's like I'm prepped and ready to go. I got the baits out. I'm like, I'm just waiting for them to come. I'm gonna feed them and they're gonna be gone in like a day or two. But it's like it's a ritual. 10 years every year. But no, that's so that's one thing, and then of course we have our first NJCC coming up in April, and it's time to see things that you don't want anymore, things that you thought you wanted but you never opened, and out with the olds, things that like the sovereigns that you don't need anymore because you got the new repaint, shit like that. And
Is that a pitch? I think he's pitching stuff.
and I got go through the crawl space. I've got some things that again, delusions of, oh, this will be great to have, and you don't need it. And I'm gonna be getting rid of some older stuff too. I do collect primes, as y'all know, but I have like the original G2 and Machine Wars Prime. Like, I think I should be able to move that at NJCC for if I put a nice take me away price on it, type stuff. God, man,
I always love when Brian finds something that he was gifted, from a family member, or some obscure item that he somehow bundles together with a collectible and manages to sell it.
I'll have some of that as well.
Yeah.
Ketchup packets. Ketchup packets.
What he said, those pizza plates you sold with your Ninja Turtles at one time, that was classic, like bundle maneuver. It was great.
Yeah. I put on there, you must take the plates. Oh man, good times. But so I gotta. I'm looking around and I'm having some hard times. Like, there's stuff that I just don't want to part with, but there's stuff that's like, you know what, just let it go. Just let it go. One of the hard trouble letting go is boxes, and so I do have a nice collection of like shipper boxes if I ever decide to sell this stuff through the mail. But it's like when I was going through some things this weekend, I was like, that's it, Brian, you're not saving another box. And I kind of felt like this rush of, what do you call them, Gary, when you get a rush of like
adrenaline or endorphins?
Yeah,
endorphins.
I got the endorphins. That's what I got. And it's like, it's when you get a box and you decide, like, all right, am I gonna fold it up and save it, or am I gonna toss it? But then I was like, when I was immediately like, all right, I'm tossing them all, I was like, wow, I'm fucking getting rid of boxes, man. Dude, it's the simple things in life.
It's funny that you bring that up, Brian, because I used to do that too. I used to keep my boxes, and just at one point I was like, forget it. This is nonsense. And the amount of boxes that come in and go out, and I don't need to keep all these fucking boxes. So at the end of the day, I just started throwing them. I did it like exactly the same thing as you. I did a whole evacuation of all shipping boxes that I folded up and everything, and I was like, get this out. Even like bubble wrap, I was like, what the fuck am I doing with bubble wrap?
Have a hard time getting rid of bubble wrap too.
Yeah,
good bubble wrap's hard to find.
It is hard to find.
I used to keep a low amount of boxes, not too many because I'm pressed for space, but just because if I was selling online a little bit more frequently, I'm like, I'm gonna need this, I'm gonna need that, you know. But since I haven't really been doing that, like almost everything's been going out the door. Only like if I get a piece, or if I have something comes and I'm like not too sure about the item, whether I'm gonna keep it or not, then I'll just be like, I'm gonna keep that box. So I don't have to struggle to find one like later if it's like a bigger like type of item. But yeah, I mean, there is something to be said for that when you start to let go of some of that stuff. Like I never really had a problem like with the shipping boxes or keeping too much of that. But like I think when it comes to our collections, we might have talked about it a long time ago. Like sometimes when you just decide, I'm not going to sell this thing, or even if you do, you're okay with selling it loose. When you start to get rid of like just these empty boxes that you might have, it does feel really good, Ryan. So I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, man. And just reading here, it's like it boosts your self-esteem because you are cleaning out your crap. It's endorsed by psychologists. It's being our best selves.
It's very similar to there's a psychological component to making lists for things, like a to-do list, or you'll often hear, hey, if you have a huge decision to make, right, do a pro and a con list. And I know you guys are going to be laughing at me, it's just Gary being Gary, but it really does when you cross something off your list, right, and you check it off or you cross it, it's true. I know. Go ahead, but it does. It releases those same endorphins, and it gives you a sense of progress and that you're moving forward. And that's how it's how successful people accomplish long-term goals is through the very short term that way.
Did you guys ever go to any of those Franklin Covey seminars?
I have, yes, and I still
You're
have
a black belt, aren't you?
I still have, in spite of all the technology, I still have an old-fashioned planner. But I just know myself. It's like when I write things, I remember it, so I like it for that. But yeah, I think anytime you reorganize your stuff, like for me, it's been just awesome. Having moved, a few months ago, feeling more permanent. So I probably have as large of a collection as I've had in the last 18 months of stuff that's on display, and just, buying some different things just for fun, just to enjoy that part of it again, versus it just being expensive stuff or just one specific line. If it catches my eye, I think I'm entertained with it. It's, I've been just trying to partake in it, I guess. And, but, keeping it organized is fun. For me, anyway. It's just I like changing stuff around and being able to look at it and not feel like it's weighing me down in that same capacity with a lot of extra stuff.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is that the point is like you're actually engaging with the stuff, So it's sort of if that's something you weren't really doing, it gives you that chance to do something like that again. Like Dave, like with all that stuff in your detox, like how often do you mess with it? Mess with it a lot, or are you just opening really like the new stuff that comes in?
It depends. I mean, like you guys are talking about spring cleaning, right? So yeah. I had a guest here last week or the week before last, and I had to do some cleaning in here. So I basically had to do exactly what you guys are saying. I had to clean my shelves a bit, throw away some cardboard boxes, stack things properly. I had a bunch of figures just like laying down, not really posed or anything. So I had to do a lot of posing or reposing and some maneuvering. Like, hey, this looks better here. This looks better there. Most of the time I do that, if I know I'm having somebody over. On my own, I probably would just mess around with things from time to time. Like right now I'm just messing around with the Mythic Legion stuff mostly. Mm-hmm. Something new that I'll mess around with for a bit. Like a week or two before. If it's not going to go on display, it's going to go back in the box. But I do actually plan on doing like a real big spring cleaning this weekend. So like my daughter's actually going to stay at my parents' house on Friday because me and my wife want to tackle the upstairs. Because with everything I took out of this room, is basically really no cardboard boxes in here anymore. I probably got rid of a bunch, but now they're stacking up in the other bedrooms.
I got that problem too.
So yeah, so you clean one room out, but then you're filling up another one. So what we're gonna try to do is actually clean out some of the attic space that we have that I can't really get to at the moment. So not where I currently have it packed by the left side of my house, but the right side over the garage. I'm gonna try to get in there, and in order to get in there, you actually have to go into a closet, go into a door in the closet, and then like actually go under some support beams and stuff to actually get to that section. So hopefully we can, if it's nice weather, we can get to that this weekend at some point.
Well, how'd you get the shit in there to begin with? You just threw it.
So there's what do you mean, like in that section that I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I don't have anything there yet. There was actually not even a floor there. I had my father-in-law put in some wood flooring that we had left over in there, like probably over like before I started this room. So a year and a half ago.
So you're gonna move.
But I haven't got to go in there because that closet that you need to go in to get to it, there's a fucking stove in there right now. There was the original stove from downstairs that we moved upstairs, thinking that maybe potentially we were gonna rent this at one point, but that went out the door once my figure collection came in. But once we get that stove out and I can get into that space, hopefully I can get a lot of my boxes in there. I'm looking forward to that because, like you guys said, it does help. It does make you feel a lot better. It's not weighing you down, like Gary said. I did that just for when Chris was here, and I felt great. You feel better about the space that you're in. You feel better about yourself. You know where your stuff is. You know, like especially when you're just like opening stuff. Like I'll give these Mythic Legions an example. Again, they come with so many different weapons and stuff.
Yeah.
So you open one, then you open, let's say 3 more. Now you got 3 packs of weapons everywhere. You don't know what goes with what, and times that by like another 10 or 20 that I've been opening for the last 6 months and not really putting away. It takes some time. You have to sit there and actually find out what goes where, what goes in what box, close it up. That, or I have a bag of just like miscellaneous stuff, like heads and armor and stuff, which is but at least I know where it all is, as opposed to it was all scattered in different boxes in different parts of the room before.
Yeah, same here, Dave. One of the things I'm dreading is when I start going through some of the stuff I do want to sell, I'm not exactly sure I know where the accessories are, so I'm gonna have to hunt through that. And I might not even know what accessories go with what. So.
Right. That's the bad thing. That's the worst part.
See, again, the scary is OCD coming in. I love organizing that stuff. When I had 2 bookcases full of the Motu classics back before my ROC, participation days, and that's just kind of on my own. Like I would use almost like a tackle box, type, little like case with all these little compartments and stuff, just to keep everything separate, and keep it organized, and then other stuff. I know it sounds crazy, but that was actually always part of the fun to me. So now, based on space, like the Mythics, Dave, like any accessories I don't have, I just do like Ziploc baggies, for what it is. So.
Yeah, and that's what I try to do with most of my stuff that I know I open, and and I throw the boxes away, but I'm behind like on that stuff. So like Brian, I'm getting to that point too, like where like I got these things like in the ottoman and all like the accessories are all together pretty much, but I gotta get to the point, like I got a bunch of figures like what Gary does, just put them in Ziploc bags and just put them away just to make sure that all the accessories are safe and tucked away and I don't lose anything.
Let me ask you a question. Do you label your boxes or write anything on the outside of your boxes? That's something I don't do, and I wish I would have done.
If I throw the box away, I'll cut out like a little piece of the character, or if there's a card or something, you know what I mean? And I'll throw that in the Ziploc baggie, so then at least I know, like what stuff it goes to, just in case. Like with the Mythics, I don't save the packages, but I'll cut the little card on the side that just has like the character's name, and throw that in there so I can keep it straight.
That's what I'll bring to NJCC. All my Mythic packaging.
David, like anything I'm like storing in like a box, I do label what's in that box I take like a little, I have like a little pad that I usually just write on the box. I'll tell it like if it's like Transformers and what Transformers it is, I'll put that on the box, and then I'll have a piece of paper that I'll slap right on the box on what items are in the box.
That's a smart way of doing things. Like when we went to
so I don't have to open up the box. I can just like, what am I looking for? And then I just go through the boxes. And
when we had ZoloCon a few weeks ago, right? Ian wanted the original Galvatron, the Fan Toys one.
Yeah.
So I had it out on display for like past year and change. Box has been, probably one of the first things I put away. So it was so deep in the attic that I did not want to go get it, but I had to. But I didn't know where it was, so I had to keep opening boxes. Box.
So what you're saying is Ian doesn't want to buy mine. That's going to be at NJC.
It's already gone, Brian.
Damn it.
But like, believe me, Dave, it was trials and tribulations for me. I did the same thing. I didn't label anything, and I had to open like 16 boxes to get to something that I need to get to, and I was just like, this ain't happening anymore. So
again, right?
Yeah, and I just started doing that, and it's funny because I'm in that process again due to the situation I'm in, and I'm actually very impressed in how organized I was. So it's really useful at the end, and cataloging what you have and where everything is. So and the funny thing with the Mythics, what I've been doing is I actually stopped at Hobby Lobby and I got those little Ziploc bags. So like what I do is I if I open up a figure and then that little bag that the figures originally, like the weapons come in and stuff, it rips. Like when you try to rip it open, it just rips and it tears up.
Oh, yeah.
You can't reuse it anymore. So I use those little little Ziploc bags, and I put the weapons in there, and I seal them up, and it actually has like a little label, so I'll put the guy's name on it, and then I just throw it back in the box.
From you, I remember how
Wow.
nicely packaged it was.
Yeah.
I just get the little snack Ziploc bags that people give their kids, put their Cheerios in.
Well, the ones in Hobby Lobby are cool because it's not so big, it fits it perfectly, and you can throw it. Yeah, it's stiff,
like a
and
stiff plastic too, like a nice straight stiff plastic. Yeah.
I probably would have wished I would have labeled some of the boxes I moved out of my mom's recently, but I know like when I put that stuff in storage, I'm like, I know maybe the next big toy show I'll be try to sell some of this stuff, so I know I left the boxes with the toys I would intend to sell like at the front of the storage, so I could basically just grab it and go. But yeah, there's stuff.
Go ahead, Brent. Sorry.
I was just say I found a little tote like this big with a bunch of accessories in it. I was looking there this weekend and I was like, whose gun is this? I'm like, I have no fucking idea. It's like great.
Whatever. Brian, that's when you throw it up in the realm and go, first one to get it gets a prize, you know?
Yeah.
You get
send them a cupcake or something, you know?
Send some crimpets in the mail.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Gary?
No, all this talk kind of, I know I don't want to rehash stuff we talked about, but it's kind of got me thinking a little bit. So we talk about different display options, or as you're kind of reorganizing stuff. What thoughts do you guys have on like hanging display items, like, as far as like vehicles or things like that, with like ceiling with like fishing line, stuff like that. So I'll say when I did my Power of the Force collection, I was big into, that's when I lived alone, but I had all my ships like strung up with a fishing line. And, I like I said, I got really into it with the clones and different squadrons that were color keyed and, gunships that were different. And it was just part of the display for me. And I got away from that when I ended up, moving at one point, I don't know, years ago. But I've got a few other things that I'm thinking about hanging up again, just as means to display a little bit better.
Like that snow speeder you guys were talking about a week ago.
Well, that might work, for the Black Series. But I picked up a new style X-wing that I think I'm gonna. It doesn't look as good, sitting on the ground, but with the S foils open, I think it would look better hanging up.
You have to be very diligent about keeping those dusted, I think, right?
Oh yeah, I had the like the duster you use for like your blinds. I used to have one of those specifically for the toys.
Gary, quick question: You're hanging it from fishing line. Do you attach it to the ceiling or the wall?
Yeah, I would literally get the little hook anchors. You know what I mean? So you just drill a very skinny pilot hole, hammer the little plastic anchor in, and then a little actual hook that was painted. It was white that matches the ceiling.
When you moved out of there, did you just have a holy ceiling?
Nope. They're super easy to fill. You can just buy like a little putty and just kind of you don't have to do anything. You just use your finger and kind of fill it in. A little life hack: you can even use this white toothpaste. To be honest with you, if you're, if you're just trying to fill it just to get by, so no one else sees it. You know.
Yeah. Nice.
Just saying.
Just enough so you can get away with your security deposit.
Exactly.
That's interesting. Like, are you guys? Well, Dave got the toy room now, so are you open to doing stuff like that?
I think it's a great idea. I think to save space as opposed to putting it up like putting it on a piece of furniture. And just hanging it somewhere, I think it would look great, depending on what it is,
Yeah.
I just don't know if Gary just told me how to do it. I just don't know if I'd be keen on doing it. I've had like 15 holes in my fucking ceiling trying to do it, but my luck, I'll fucking put something up there and it'll fucking fall and break the next day.
I will say you have to be, very, like I said, when I did it, I really got into it. So I was really, very deliberate and strategic with, what ship was where. And I would like play with the fishing line. So I kind of gauge like which way it was going to hang, which direction it was going to face.
Because I had done that in high school. I hung up some of my StarCom stuff, believe it or not. And one thing never got dusted for an entire year. It was fucking nasty. But Gary, it was basically a single point three strings or fishing lines. And then you have to play with it to see how the ship angles and stuff. And that was kind of fun to do.
Yeah. What was cool is I learned a little hack was if you just have that little hook, if you needed to shorten it, you didn't have to retie everything. You could just like wrap the fishing line like around the hook, a couple times and it would kind of adjust it that way. And But like I wish I had pictures of it back then because I had some pretty cool designs. I had like those, I had like 3 different, Clone Wars gunships of all different, they were all different retail exclusives. Like one was from Walmart, one was from Toys R Us. One had the clown face, dragon painted on it from the animated series, those little mini shorts that were on Cartoon Network. And I would have like the clones and have them like hanging off of it, with ropes and stuff. It was, probably didn't help my social dating life at the time, but it was a pretty fun way to display. So
yeah, I mean the method you described of like hanging that stuff from the ceiling, that's basically what I did at the hobby shop I worked at. Like we had so much inventory, and it's funny because we used to hang the Power of the Force figures from that.
Right.
So Star Wars related. But yeah, we put up racks and same thing, drill a hole into the ceiling, the little plastic piece, and then the hook. So we just got way more like basically like retail space by basically using the ceiling as well, so it's interesting for people to do that with their collections. Like I wish I would, have the means to do that. Like maybe one day, if I eventually get a bigger place and have like my own like little geek room or whatever, I'd definitely be open to that. But I haven't collected anything that's I guess like vehicle wise that
Put the Seekers up there, Jose.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I'd probably be, I'd probably would have done it like the old way, like trying to get like, the Tamashi stands and trying to, simulate flight like that. But that's definitely like a, cool little idea for anybody that got those type of things. Like, Dom, would you be open for that type of stuff, doing that?
I never hung anything from the ceiling. But yeah, I would if it's big enough and I'm finding the fact that, it could free up some shelf space that I can use for other things, and I can throw a vehicle, a flying vehicle or something that is in that purpose. I'll hang it from the ceiling. That'd be cool. But I really just didn't. I never. The only right thing right now that I would have that would probably be cool hanging from a ceiling is that the 6-inch the TIE Fighter. That I bought one of those things, and that's pretty much the only thing I would think of that I would have hanging from the ceiling.
Well, while I was digging around my house, I happened to find something that I totally forgot that I bought, which was the Batman animated series Batwing.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, you did end up getting that?
Yeah. When I forget who had it for a really good deal. Maybe it was Amazon or something.
Yeah, I think okay.
But I found that and I was like, oh yeah. I'm like, there's nowhere for me to put this. Maybe I can hang that from the ceiling.
Yeah. Did you ever open it?
No, never.
Oh,
still
good
in the shipper.
Good night.
Yeah, I'll put my Unicron next to it when it arrives.
And that's the thing. Like, did we speak about that on air? Like, also, like that giant Fort Max that's coming out. That's another thing. I mean, that's not something you would hang from the ceiling, but just the space issue, for that.
What? Yeah, the Unicron make a great pinata and fill it with candy.
Yeah.
That's going to be holding my coffee table.
It's still. I think what got me thinking was I have this really cool like pedestal. That's where my Hulkbuster used to go. It's just like solid, like almost like a solid square chunk of wood. I think we got it at Home Goods or something. I found it, so it works for something really big like that. And I've got an X-wing sitting on it. And I'm like, it can't stay there because it's not until the fall tentatively, but I'll blame my wife, but she had me order that Sideshow, the child, right, off of off of the actual mold and stuff. So that's where that's going to go when it comes in.
That thing's going to be cool, bro. I think you're going to like it.
I think
it's going to come to life at night and kill you.
Dude, no, I'm not worried about that thing. Now, someone makes a life-size ET, and then you keep that shit out of my house. But I was like,
Gary,
child would be fine.
ET, Gary.
Oh God, you know who always tags me in anything he sees with is friggin' Chuck. God bless him. Like, no matter
No, Elliot.
he
No,
always tags me in
Elliot,
it.
Gary.
I was like, stop it! I don't like that thing.
But Gary, what you said, that's what I did with my fucking what? I can't even see it. Can you see it back there?
What are you trying to show? Oh, I see something up there.
Your Omega?
Is that like a little?
Yeah, you see it? You see it?
flying?
All right, yeah, my Omega. You see it? I put it up on that because it was just on the floor.
Right. Yeah.
I had nowhere to put it because it's just so big. So I just put it up on that thing.
Yeah, those giant things you gotta set aside like its own space, its own table, its own,
Yeah. You got to think, right? I mean, it's like we always talk about. You got to pay respect. You spend those things, right? Usually the size doesn't always, but often equates to cost, and you've got to have some place to put it. I think to.
Yeah. Well, the smaller stuff always just seems like, I mean, we get a ton of things, right? And we don't really, like, I guess maybe sometimes we think about space, but we're not thinking about it like in the same kind of mind frame that we think about like with these bigger robots or these bigger like purchases, just because like the to display like a single item, like I guess that's what you think about when it's a bigger piece like that.
Even when you're buying a bunch of small things, like they start taking up space too. Like I had to take down a whole shelf of Star Wars 112 stuff just to fit other things on it. And that's only a fraction of what I have for that stuff. So
is that's going to be like the stuff that you had to take down? Is that going to be like part of the spring cleaning that we're talking about?
Oh man, I maybe, yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Waiting for that Clone Wars hype to hike up a little bit more.
Is that been a thing now that the cartoon is back, like on Disney Plus?
People in the groups looking for clone troopers and stuff that they weren't looking for before. So
Sure, they're looking for Echo. I'm sure of it.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So
if anyone's watching the series.
I haven't seen it. Still haven't seen it. So I guess I'll just catch. If it's supposed to be the final season, I'll just catch up when it's all done. Eventually. I haven't even gone onto Disney Plus in like a few weeks.
Somebody's going on mine. I don't know who.
Hey, look,
I'm getting up videos.
I'm on there watching Star Wars. What, you were watching some crazy ass thing the other day.
Well, that's my brother-in-law. That's my brother-in-law.
How do you know it was on Resume?
If you see some stupid shit being watched on that's my brother-in-law watching.
Let me fucking try to look and fucking see what that was. I was
dude.
Are you watching this movie, bro? What is this?
Dude, I gave it to my brother-in-law too, and he's been watching some crazy shit. He's like, oh, have you watched it? I'm like, what are you watching?
The Apple Dumpling Gang?
Yeah, he loves that. He loves that.
What the hell?
Yeah,
he loves it.
But the dude from Three's Company's on there. So.
Yeah, like he's preaching it to me. He's like, you gotta watch this. You gotta watch this.
John Ritter's in it?
No, the old guy.
Dot Knots.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I love the way you said the guy from Three's Company, like he wasn't, in a million other things. Andy Griffith show. I was like,
yeah, I think that was his end of his career.
That's what we remember. Like
Mr. Roper, right?
On Three's Company. That's not Mr. Furley. Mr. Roper. Mr. Roper and his wife they were written off Three's Company for their own spinoff, which ended up getting canceled, and then Don Knotts replaced them as the new Lord.
They did do a spinoff of that, right? Like
it did.
Three's the Crowd or something like that.
Well, they did a few. They did one called Meet the Ropers, which unfortunately didn't catch on and got canceled, and then they were both off.
Unfortunately.
Well, it's a career move. Okay, the five of us have a sitcom, right? And it's working really well. And all of a sudden, they offer Jose his own show. It's a risk because does he take it?
Tank. It's going to tank. Yeah, it's going to tank.
It's like it could be phenomenal, like what happened with Frasier, right? When Cheers ended. Or it could be like what happened with Joey after Friends ended, and it's pretty much dead in the water. So I'm just saying, it's a calculated risk. You gotta,
Yeah.
Look at you and spreading some sitcom knowledge.
Well, I'm just I'm old, Dom. I used to watch those.
I understood both references. Yeah, just very impressed.
For you guys that have been, using Disney Plus, what are you using it mainly for? Is it just for the Star Wars stuff? Are you watching the Marvel stuff on it too? Like,
Dude, I'm all about the Frozen stuff, dude. Frozen is awesome.
Natural Geographic. Anybody clicked into that and looked around? Like,
Not much, honestly. No.
It's just
I have
just Star
so
Wars.
much different. Like I have Netflix, I have Prime, I have
yeah.
HBO Go. Like, so if I'm on Disney Plus, it's usually for Star Wars
or Marvel stuff. I cannot,
That's surprising,
I cannot
Brian.
get
like,
enough fucking Captain America.
Really, like that's surprising. I thought I would be watching a lot more of that when I got Disney Plus. I don't though.
Yeah.
I've just been doing Star Wars on Disney Plus.
Me too. Like I just been going back and like watching the movies. So again, like I never really had access to like a lot of stuff. Like I think I own like the trilogy, original trilogy on DVD, but that thing's been put like in a closet like forever. So it's just nice to have that just easily like at your fingertips. So I've been going through and watching like those movies a lot, like again and again. And like you, Dom, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be all into the Marvel stuff, and I barely like clicked in there. And I think it's because they've been on Netflix like so much, and I've watched them like a lot on that I'm not used to doing it in this particular app yet.
That, and you could turn on like TBS or TNT, and they're always fucking on. Like and Doctor Strange to freaking Winter Soldier is always playing every other freaking week. It's like on TBS, so it's like.
And Paramount Network shows a lot of that stuff.
Yep, Paramount, yeah.
You know, so.
But you got to watch the commercials, which
Yeah, which is
that's always that's my breaks to get a drink or get another refresh my drink and stuff like that.
Yeah, usually if I got that stuff on, if I got listen, like the way he refreshes his receipts, Gary, same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay.
You need the breaks, man. I'm getting older these days. You need the breaks. The breaks.
Fine. Listen, you guys know me. I drink a lot of water. I have to pee like every 15 minutes, like an 80-year-old guy. So I get the breaks. I just,
Yeah, as you get older, you like those breaks.
Yeah, that shit will usually just be on in the background, like when doing other stuff. If you're just sort of channel flipping and that's what's on, you just leave it on, but you're sort of distracted. So I don't mind it either. But I barely watch anything like on regular like television anymore. So it's like the commercials are sort of like annoying when you do watch something live, because there's really not much. Like everything is always like I don't even mind like just waiting the day when like when something's on Hulu gets it the next day, so you just watch it and no commercials. So and on demand life, man. That's what we're used to now, like, right? We fucking everybody's spoiled now when we had to deal with all this other shit back in the day. It's crazy. It's crazy how far it's come.
It's like now you just Google what like what movie it is and where is it streaming.
Yeah.
Oh, where is this? All right, now I know where to find it. I don't have to fucking search through it. You know what I mean?
It's fucking it's incredible how you got everything at your fingertips.
Are you guys watching anything in particular right now? Like new series or something ongoing right now?
I am watching The McMillions on HBO. Which
I heard it's really good.
I forgot to watch before the show started tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And also I started watching Hunters on Amazon, which is really, really interesting. It takes place in the past. I love those kinds of shows, and it's basically these Jewish people hunting down Nazis that have gone over to America.
Al Pacino's in it.
Al Pacino's in it, yeah.
Yeah.
How much is he in it? Is he just?
He's in it a lot.
Okay.
It's fascinating. I've only watched a couple episodes.
What's it called again?
Hunters.
Yeah.
But not only is it fascinating, just the premise of the story, but there is some. I mean, I have yet to go to the Holocaust Museum in DC, and obviously we know the Holocaust was bad and stuff, but they are going through and depicting things that happened in these camps that are much more than what you read about in the books, right? I don't know how much of it is true, but if it is, that's some really fucked up shit, man. Some crazy stuff. So that's not necessarily fascinating, but it's enlightening and interesting. So
shit.
Anybody with a shred of empathy would like after watching something like that. I mean, it just makes you feel something. It's something that's visceral. So that's I guess the point. If anything is going to be successful, it would have to make you feel something either one way or another. So now, like, I'm interested. I'll check it out. Jesse's always just watching like random stuff like on Netflix. Like she's the type that'll just go on there, pick something and watch it. Like while I'm usually looking for the familiars, it's like stuff. I wish I was more like that, just to watch like just random things and like waste time. But sometimes I'm just like, I'll watch this because it's familiar.
Yeah, Christina does that too. Jose, she'll find something that's kind of completely interesting to me, but then at other times I'll be like, what are you like, some crazy stuff, documentaries and series and this and it's just like, and she gets into it, so she's involved pretty deep, but I'll just hear some of it in the background. I'm like, come on, God, what are you watching? It sounds very like a serious topic. I'm like, how is that enjoyable to sit and watch? I don't know.
Yeah, meanwhile, Gary's watching Richard Simmons infomercial over and over again.
I have last week I binged. I never watched it, but it's from 1998. It was an HBO series called From the Earth to the Moon, which basically Tom Hanks and a few others worked together to make after he did.
I remember that. Yeah, I never watched it, but I heard. Yeah,
dude, it was a fun watch, man. It was easy going, nice fun watch, good stuff, very educational, and they go into like some of the challenges every mission had, which is really, really cool. So
I'm embarrassed to admit this, but I've been watching Below Deck because I just
my wife watches that, bro.
I enjoy it so much, dude. I don't know why. Just fascinating on how people work within, like, just work on a yacht and just the day to day that they go through and everything, and
in those fucking beds that they sleep in.
Oh, dude, crazy! I would never but like they're like. There's like a couple ships that they follow and like, just the beautiful places that they're at. And like, I would always just try to imagine myself in that situation and working on a yacht and just basically, enjoy being in those places. But I can see it very easily where you're working a very mundane, just the next person coming, next party that's coming on the boat, and you have to just do the same old in and out every day, and then
you're with like, a new crew member that comes in. Yeah, Dom, I see where your fantasies lie.
Dude, I can retire. It's just something different. Like I can just instead of doing my boring ass job, but
Yeah,
that's funny. My wife watches that show.
Yeah.
I've been watching a really good show.
What?
Below Deck.
Oh,
it's called Below Deck. Yeah,
it's a Bravo fucking TV show.
Deck.
I don't Deck.
Yeah,
Deck. Yeah,
Below Deck. Right.
Like I'll deck you. Deck you.
Just checking.
Like what I thought. The deck of a ship.
Got it.
No deck. Like I'll punch.
I've been watching this show. I recommend to you guys. It's a Stephen King. It's off a Stephen King novel. It's called The Outsider on HBO.
I think I'm gonna check
that show. Like it's good. It's really good. I don't know if it's like an ongoing series or it's just like a mini series. I think it's probably just a mini series, but it's got some really good acting in it too. So it's like Krennic, the guy that plays Krennic.
He's in like a lot of things.
He's like the main star in that.
Yeah.
So speaking of people that cross over, the guy who hired in The Mandalorian, I don't remember his name. He died who put out the bounty for the child that spoke that way. Okay. Mm-hmm. He had a very small role, that actor, on Parks and Recreation.
Really?
Yeah. It was a very small, like one-time role where Aubrey Plaza's character and what's his name? Chris Pratt. Like they ended up buying a house and he was like the owner of the house. And it was almost like he was selling it as if it was haunted, and he was speaking in the exact same character voice. I'll have to find the episode. It's pretty funny. I was like, holy shit. I was like, and I think that season was like 2014. Yeah. So it was years ago. It's just kind of funny. So he was talking the exact same way, except he was, trying to sell him a house instead of capturing a mythical child.
The last thing that me and Jesse were watching together, actually, we got to finish up the last few episodes, is Ray Donovan, on Showtime. It's a
Oh
Showtime show.
yes, I watched that too, Jose.
You watch it? Yeah.
I watched. I'm caught up like through every season, so that shit is dope.
Yeah, we just started watching it like recently. Like I always heard it was a good show, but just I never had Showtime. Like so I just never caught it. And I got like since I've been in school, I got like a student deal. Like I get Spotify, Hulu, and Showtime for like $5 a month. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, could finally watch like Ray Donovan without a problem. And we just like blew through the season. So we really like it. And so we just got to watch like the last few episodes of this last season. And dude, I think they said they just canceled it. It's not getting like a proper like series finale or anything like that. So I don't know how it ended. I don't know if it ended on a sort of cliffhanger or whatever, but if it did, that's it. Like we're not getting anymore.
Wow. It was getting a little crazy towards the end. That's all I'll say. Like, just a little like, get the fuck out of here. Like this is really going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
But shit, man. That stuff.
Did you guys watch like the ranch with Ashton Kutcher? Mm-mm. He's like he's that's another one that my brother-in-law watches, and I usually like when I'm hanging out with them, and they're always on it, and I watched a couple seasons with them, and I thought it was pretty good. It's like almost like a Roseanne type of feel, but it's like cowboys, like on a ranch raising cattle, and it's got a good vibe to it. It's Ashton Kutcher's in it, and a couple other guys, and it's more of a family-based story.
Is that something that like currently is like being released currently or older?
No. It's an older series. Yeah, it's an older. I think it's done now. It has 8 seasons. I think it was. It started back in 2015, maybe.
Oh, all right. So that's not that old.
Jose, these are more Showtime shows people are telling you to watch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Dexter. I'm all caught up. I had loved that show. Like even though like it fell off like in later seasons. Let me see. What was the other ones? The Brothers. Okay, I'll check that out. Shameless. I think Dust was telling me about Shameless, and he was like, "Yo, that show's incredible." And I'm like, "Really?" Because like when you're watching the episodes of Ray Donovan, like in between, you can't skip it.
Commercials.
They'll give you a commercial, a Showtime commercial, but just for one of their shows. So that comes up a lot, and seeing that preview, it didn't look like a show like I would watch. You know what I'm saying? So
Jose, it's a comedy drama like kind of show. Like it's mostly comedy more than anything to me.
Okay.
But it's not. It's supposed to be like really how they live their lives, but you're just like, what the fuck? Like Gary's from in Chicago, but.
Is it worth checking out? Like Dust said, Dust said it was good.
So I'm not caught up on like the most recent season or maybe even the last one, but I watched like the first like 6-7 seasons of that show.
Oh, is that deep?
Yeah, you grow up with them. Like you watch these kids grow up into, and if you liked I know you're a big fan of DC and that kid who played the twin that was Joker.
Yes, Jeremiah. I forget that dude's name from Gotham.
He's in that show.
Okay.
So you see him grow up. I think he starts off the show like he's like 13, 14 years old, and you see him grow into a man on that show. So
okay.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
All right, I'll check it out since we're wrapping up. I guess Ray Donovan. It's like, all right, what else? Like something else to watch. So I told her, I was like, I heard this one was all right, so maybe we'll start watching it. Like hopefully she hasn't done so already because like I work so much, like I'll be gone on the weekend, so I could just imagine like how much.
What are you guys into? Like,
but she, like I said, she watches like a bunch of different stuff, so she'll find things, and then sometimes like Gary, like I'll be listening and I'll be like, "What the hell are you watching?" But then other times I'm like, "Oh, it'll be something interesting." But I just, it'll be one of those just random like one-off films that are on Netflix. I don't remember like what the name is or anything like that. Like there was this one she was watching. I think it came out recently. Like the dude, it was about a dude like basically like hustling women. It's the dude that played, I don't know his name, but he's the guy that played Jimmy Olsen on Supergirl, like on the CW shows. I don't know anything else that he's done. I haven't recognized him from really anything else. But it's basically like the dude is like swindling like rich women like out of their money. Like he'll like game them up, and then like they'll get married, then he'll start treating them like shit, and he'll know like the laws of the state or whatever, so he'll like take advantage where basically like the woman wouldn't be able to kick him out. He has control of like her dough, and it was like a operation that he would do like all over the country and shit like that. Like it was kind of crazy, but I don't remember the name of it, but it was just one of these movies she was watching, and I was like, oh yeah, it's pretty interesting. And it wound up being like sort of like a murder mystery type thing, because like the woman like had enough at one point, and it looked like she, like she killed the dude and stuff. So it was pretty interesting and stuff like that. But as far as like shows, I feel like the shit we used to watch, like we used to watch like How to Get Away with Murder, and then I felt like that shit just became like ridiculous. And then we watched The Blacklist, which was really good, I feel like, in the beginning, and then I tuned into like a random episode from the current season, and then it's like I feel like it's just the same shit that's going on, like, despite some of the things that have happened like with the interpersonal relationships with like some of those characters. I just tuned into like a new episode, and it was basically the same format. So I'm like, I lost it.
What me and my wife watched the play. We saw up to season 3, and then we missed 4, and we always wanting to go back to watch it, but we never get a chance to.
Yeah, I think we got to 4, and then we just fell off. Like we fell off like when they did like a spin-off with the chick's like husband that was on being the fucking super spy.
The spin-off is pretty good too, but like we watched the spin-off, and then we never went back to season 4. So
okay, so I think we ended at the same point then.
Yeah. So like season 3 ends. I don't want to give it away, but then like they did the spinoff with the husband, and then season 4 comes in, and I think we watched like the first episode in season 4, and then we just like kind of died off on it. So
yeah, just fell off. Like we just were like,
it was, and like you said, Jose, it was pretty good. It was like the first season, the second season was really good, and and just the story and where it was going, and unanswered questions in regards to every episode and where it was leading to, and it was really a really good. Really good TV show, but like it's like I feel like sometimes when they from one season to another season, it's so long, and when they put it out, and it's like you just forget about it, and then you just try to get back to it, and you can't.
Yeah, it's keep it up with the television like schedule, and you know how it always is. You get like a batch of episodes, and then they take a mid-season break, then they come back another 4 episodes, and then a few repeats, and then like in May they kind of like wrap it all up. So that was just a show like really good, and I felt like just the main strength was the main character, Red. I forget.
Red. Yeah. Yep.
Same dude that voiced James Spader, I think his name is. Spader.
Yeah, and he also voiced
Ultron. Yeah, in Age of Ultron. So he just had that the way basically like he was in Age of Ultron, like Ultron's personality, like that's almost like that dude. Yeah. And in the Blacklist is like same type of way, very witty. Type of character. So it was good, but then we just felt like it became stagnant, So Josh just brought up, he's like the new season of Altered Carbon is on Netflix. So I enjoyed the first season, like I dug that. And I know like Kevin Spacey's like like a monster now and shit, but I enjoyed House of Cards too. Like if you've never seen that on Netflix, like you might want to give that a shot. Like
I've always been meaning.
I didn't get into that, but Christina liked that one before all the nonsense.
Didn't they end that because of all that?
They basically like fired him in the last season, and they had to sort of rewrite it. So like the wife sort of took over. I felt like it definitely wasn't as good, but at least they got to wrap it up instead of it just like abruptly like ending. But
you guys watch Vikings?
I heard that was good. I want to check that out. I haven't seen it though. Is it?
I'm not sure if I'm right, if this is the last season or there's one more, but I think
that's been going on for a while now, right?
It's like the 2013, I think.
Yeah, like I remember watching a couple episodes and was just flipping through the channels, but like that kind of stuff is what I like those that type Vikings, Gladiators, and fucking that shit.
Yeah,
like I love Spartacus.
Oh, Spartacus back in the day, me and Jasenia loved it. So anything like that, I'll be willing to give it a chance. But I haven't watched the Vikings yet.
Oh, Gary, you know that workout, right? The Spartacus workout. Don't lie, Gary. Come on.
Spartacus was so fucking good, man, and I felt like they sort of did the right thing. Like as much as I wanted to see more of it, like they ended the story like before it jumped the shark. Like so they just ended it like on a high note. I feel.
Yeah.
You know?
And I was even telling my wife the other day, like I would love that if they did a spin-off with Gannicus or something like that, and just because he was hanging on the cross on the street at the end, like he was the only one that was left alive, and obviously the people who fled at the end. But like it would be cool because that was early Rome, like that wasn't like where the Colosseum was built and everything like that. So like anything like just do something more gladiators and kind of a storyline that way. It would be cool.
So Dom, take a stab at Vikings, bro.
Yeah, that's like
you would
I just looked it up. It's good.
Yeah,
Vikings,
really good.
Yeah.
Really
like I watched a couple episodes and I really enjoyed it, and I just never got back to it.
All right, so that'll be on the list, and I think another one I'm gonna watch because it's not one of these streaming services is Rome. I heard Rome was really good. It was like
good. It's only two seasons.
Two seasons only because I heard it was like super expensive.
Yeah, dude. I remember when I was first watching it, I was like, "How the fuck are they paying for this?"
It's like that, like because I think I only saw maybe the first episode, so I didn't really get too deep into it.
That was good. Oh yeah, man. Who were the two dudes? It was Ray Stevenson and the other guy. I forget their character names though, but it was great.
Oh yeah, and Josh Fisher said Dark on Netflix. I watched that too.
Yeah.
That one is so they'll speak. It's speaking to you in English, right? But it's I forget what country German.
Yeah.
But it's a really good show.
Yeah, I watched season 1 and then I was I kept going out to lunch every Monday, and I would talk to the bartender about it, and then her schedule changed, and then so I stopped watching it. And then I just like lost track of it, and then I tried watching season 2. I'm like, fuck, I don't remember any of this. I'm gonna have to start from the very beginning. It's a very confusing show.
So we got some stuff to check
stuff
out. Yeah,
maybe we should watch a series as a crew, and then talk about it at the end.
It's got to be something like super short though, like none of this to like 23 episode like season fucking shit. That would be like hard because then how do you cram all that?
Right.
That'd be hard.
We would have to do it week to week.
Oh, I mean, we could do that.
Yeah, I'm not cramming anything. It's crazy.
That'd be cool. That might be something we could do. Make that like a little segment or something.
I heard The Expanse is good as well.
Yeah.
How do you say this dude's name in there? Nero. Yeah. Nero. Dude, that's a great show. Unfortunately, they have not picked up season 2.
Me too.
What streaming service?
Used to talk about that show Taboo all the time with Tom Hardy, and it never came back out. It's like, what the fuck?
What streaming service is that on? Netflix?
That was on, I think, FX, right?
Oh, FX?
I think so.
Taboo.
And yeah, man, he just plays a gangster role in that.
I want to see that movie. Like, I still haven't seen that flick. Like, it looked good when he was playing like his own twin or whatever.
I watched that the other day. Legend.
Did you?
I watched it, I think, yesterday, actually.
Was it good?
It's okay. It's not that great. I mean, it's watchable. It's not a bad movie.
Yeah.
It's just it just never really gets anywhere. If that makes sense, just watch it. It's just like telling the story of how they came up, but it really doesn't do anything else.
Okay, because I thought it looked interesting.
It's cool to watch him play two parts.
Yeah, exactly. Like it looked like one was a tough guy and the other one was a little bit like smarter or nerdy or whatever. Like
both were tough guys. One was just crazy, and one was just a little more centered. You know what I mean? Like, and it's a good watch. I'm not gonna give it away, but I mean that part of it, just him playing two roles, is a good watch.
All right.
Another Tom Hardy shout out, Peaky Blinders on Netflix is up to season 6 right now, and that's Jose is only they're 45-minute episodes, and there's only 6 per season.
Oh, so that's something.
And if you can get past the accents, some people don't like to watch that, like listen to that. But that show is fire. I love it.
What's the name
It's
again?
about I guess English gangsters or whatever, London gangsters or whatever. So
what's the name again?
Blinders.
Oh, Peaky
Peaky
Blinders.
Yeah.
Oh, it has the Carcetti, Mayor Carcetti from The Wire is in there. I can see he's on the teaser. I never watched Breaking Bad. That's something else I need to do.
Me neither. I never
dude.
watched that.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
My dad watched that, and I'm like, he talks to me about it, and I'm like, fucking, what am I missing? My dad would even watch Games of Thrones, and I never watched that shit.
Oh, no,
Damn,
dude.
Yeah, I know. I just don't have time. Like, I wish I watched more TV, but
that is the thing is the time. Like, but like knowing like sort of like what shows to zero in on and check out. Like, if you trust people's recommendations, at least you could narrow through some of the bullshit like that way.
Have you guys ever watched the Last Kingdom on Netflix?
Yeah,
I saw that.
Dude, I hope they make another season of that.
You would like the Vikings.
Okay, great. Cool.
Because it's kind of telling similar stories.
Sweet. All
with
right.
different characters. Some of them are the same. Like you'll come across the same name.
Oh, okay.
Like Ragnar.
Mm-hmm.
You come across that name. Stuff like
check that out.
Nice.
I'm Uhtred, son of Uhtred.
All right, so we'll wrap on that. Let's go around the yard, get some where you at, and we'll call it a night. And then we'll start, getting to work on checking out all those series and stuff. And yeah, it's true what Josh says. Like basically what we were discussing, he does have a show with his boy Greg called Queued Up, and they do recommend like different shows from different streaming platforms. So if you want to get more recommendations, definitely check out that show. So Brian,
Josh up. Recommends. I always say Josh up.
Oh yeah. It's good. They break it down. So if you listen to that show, it's basically also a good way where you don't have to spend a long time. If you value their opinions, it's basically a way to weed through the bullshit. Also, they'll give a thumbs up or thumbs down to a series, and they won't really, kill it for you either if you want to go out and enjoy it. So it's awesome. So, all right, Brian Brink, I'll start with you. We're going to go around the yard. Get somewhere you at. Go ahead, Brian.
Josh, let me know about the show Fortitude. I started watching that this weekend, and I
just want to
keep my interest. I don't have the fortitude to keep trying watching that show. But yeah, you can find me Brian Brink in the realm and at Brinkalizer on Instagram.
All right, Dominic.
Find me here Tuesday nights with you guys and Dominic Ross on the groups. And we're on JCC. We got some tables available. So if you guys are in the area and got some shit to get, clean up, do some spring cleaning and get a table at NJC to sell your goods and, let you say goodbye to the old figures. You give them a kiss and sell them off so you can get some funds to introduce new figures in your life. This is an opportunity. So if you want to get a table, I think the show is the April 4th and 5th, right?
Yes,
it's a 2-day show.
Yep.
And we do have some tables available. We're trying. We currently have, I think, 5 tables available. So if you are interested, please IM me. I'll add you to the chat. It's right now the rate is going to be $110 for the weekend. That's 2 days for one table. So that's fairly inexpensive in regards to what you get, and it's going to be a fun time. If you've never been there, and we have a great time. We enjoy each other's companies, and you can actually sell some goods, make some friends, and see what's up. Don't be shy. If it's your first time or whatever, let me know. I'll get you in the chat. If we do fill up the spot, our rate does go down. So we do get a discount. So that's an incentive for us to fill out the spots. We have 13 tables, and we'd like to get all of 13 tables filled out to get that whole middle island there. And if we get that, our rate does come down.
Yes, sir. That's the rock block. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys want in.
I think Yeah, I think the rate comes down to like $95 a table. So
even better for the 2
so
days.
even better. So for the 2 days. So
Come and buy all our stuff.
Not bad. Not bad.
And-
Yeah.
What's the over? What's the over under on catching the coronavirus at NJCC? You think?
I don't know if I can survive it.
Tables now.
I'm gonna keep some hand sanitizer on me. We'll be all right. Don't worry about it. But yeah, hit Dominic up. We do got.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. I'm part of the ROC group, and if you know anybody in the group and you just get in contact with me, like I said, there is a chat that we have currently with all parties that are currently interested, and I will add you to the chat. This is our last week. I have to give the final numbers to the organizer by the end of the week. I don't want to leave him hanging in regards to how many tables left that we couldn't fill. So I want to give him some ample time to fill those tables up with individuals that he knows were probably waiting and such. So just if you know somebody who's attending or wants to attend and probably is interested in selling some of their stuff, and it'd be a good opportunity. Everybody's getting their Fed checks in, so they got some residual income to burn, and it's definitely one of the opportune times to sell stuff at this show, at any show. So this is the period to do it. So
cheap chugs. I'll be selling cheap chugs. Yeah. All right. So hit them up. G Money.
Yep. Just Gary Allen in the Facebook groups. You can find me there.
All right. Energon Addict.
Energon Addict on Instagram, David Colon in the Facebook groups. Here on Tuesdays, send me some recommends for some shows to watch, and I'll do the same to you, for everybody that's in the chat. If we haven't spoken before, hit me up on Facebook or on Instagram. Look forward to it.
Sweet. All right. As for myself, Hurricane BX all over social media. Check out Verbally Challenged on all audio platforms here every single Tuesday night with these gentlemen. Shout out to JD who couldn't be with us tonight. And check out the rest of the shows on the Cool Table. You can find the Cool Table page on Facebook. There's links to all those other podcasts where you could subscribe, follow. On all different types of audio platforms. And don't forget to check out Crashbox Customs on social media for your Mezco and diorama needs. If you mention the word realm when placing an order, you'll get a surprise gift with your purchase. And don't forget to check out the rest of the shows this week on the Realm Collectors YouTube channel. I don't think, is this a Figure Bang week? No, it's not, right?
I think so. That was last week.
No.
Yeah, that was last week. But MPSP Theater is this Friday around 9-ish Eastern Standard Time right here on this channel. So check those boys out. All right. And shout out to the chat squad. Thank you for hanging tonight. You guys were excellent. I don't know. Maybe I'll throw out Hangout link. We'll see who hops in. And with that, we're going to sign off, guys. We'll see you next week. Take care. Stay safe. And peace out.
Good week.
Peace.
Have a good one, guys.
take care, guys.
Say it with me now.
Real.